Hello APHEDA. It's great to see APHEDA still going strong. When we look at the countries that you've been involved with in solidarity around the world, they still need your support. The optimism, of course, in Zimbabwe to free the people from the dictatorship of Mugabe, the situation in Vietnam, both optimistic and indeed sometimes pessimistic as well, the Cambodian environment where frankly we're again seeing an emergence of dictatorship, and many more. There's no doubt that our world is under attack. We are seeing shrinking democratic space, attacks on fundamental rights everywhere. Freedom of association is something that too many governments simply don't want to uphold and companies deny in the quest for corporate greed. But at the heart of all of this, there is an increasing xenophobia, an increasing racism that's often generated by the very leaders who are elected in democracies, or indeed the dictators from either democratically elected country bases or self-appointed. We know that migrants make up our economies. They are the 5th largest economy in the world if they were grouped together. They keep, in fact, our societies going. Most of us in countries like Australia, in Canada, in the US, in the UK, and many, many other places simply wouldn't have the workforce we need without migrant workers. And when we have historic levels of displacement of people, the refugees flooding across the world, facing unbelievable discrimination, then something is very, very wrong with our world. It's very easy for us to say what we believe. Refugees have a right to settlement, they have a right to work, and they have a right to equal treatment. It's much harder for us to see justice on the basis of those principles everywhere right now. And of course, I'm ashamed about what's going on in Australia with the absolute unfinished business, the evil in which we are treating other human beings, particularly, of course, those on Manus Island, but everywhere. If Australia can't accommodate a few thousand refugees coming by unorthodox means, as much as we don't like people trafficking, then what are we saying to people who are fleeing from desperation? What are we saying about the generosity of Australia? You know the answer. It's not pretty. So we have to fight. Indeed, many of our migrant workers are now ending up in conditions of modern slavery. And the one good piece of news I can tell you from the last couple of months is that we have cut a deal, A to Z, with Qatar. I want to thank you. A 5-year campaign, but it shows you what the union movement can do. Because if we don't stand against slavery, who will? Almost 2 million migrants in Qatar will no longer be enslaved. Within months, the exit visa will be gone. They will actually have the right to leave the country freely. Because we know there are scurrilous employers, then indeed there will be a government fund to support unpaid wages and indeed the tickets home that people are entitled to by contract. We will have a situation where contracts will be registered on a government site, transparent, therefore avoiding substitution. We will have a minimum wage. There's a temporary minimum wage, it's not enough, but with evidence we will see that raised so we can end the discrimination of an apartheid set of wages. And of course, with many other commitments, including domestic workers being in the frame of a technical agreement, a 3-year technical agreement with the ILO, we will see an ILO office in the country monitoring a complaints process. This is an outcome we can feel proud of. And again, I simply say thank you for your solidarity. We will still be there. We will issue our own progress report. From time to time, we will still ask you to make commentary. But now we will move this campaign, this element of our Eliminating Slavery campaign, to in fact Saudi Arabia and the UAE. We must clean up the Gulf states. These will be big challenges. We'll need you on board, but I know you will be there. Indeed, one of the things that's come out of this is that we have also built a global architecture for rights associated with mega sporting events. It is in fact a partnership across NGOs, the UN Human Rights Office, and indeed the ILO, with the IOC and FIFA and other sporting bodies. It will assess bids for law and practice, and it will help clean up supply chains for successful event hosts. There's no doubt that we have made a lot of gains out of this, and we're even seeing FIFA, not satisfactorily yet, but looking to its own human rights policy. We have to keep up the pressure, but this has been a great union campaign and will continue to do so, just with other areas of focus. And finally, let me tell you, an idea that arose in part from consultations in Australia. We are going to release this month the recruitment advisor. I fondly call it a trip advisor for migrant workers. Not that you would in fact want to go to many of these places, but it will allow migrant workers to talk to each other, to rate their agencies, their employers, and to call for help anonymously if they need to, or collectively where in fact we can make a difference. So watch this space, please promote it, and keep doing APHEDA what you do. Migrant workers, refugees, those in modern slavery, they're our brothers and sisters, and they're entitled to fundamental rights, to dignity, to respect. Thank you for everything you do.